following podcast is being brought to you by the Defy Life Podcast Network. Welcome back to Unsupervised, the Spinoff. This week, your friendly neighborhood hosts discuss the coronavirus and its life-altering effects ad nauseum. We'll talk Roy Williams, Cole Anthony, and the general state of Tar Heels hoop. In our weekly stat of the week, America can't read. In petty party politics, is Bernie done? And our main topic, what physically attracts us most to a woman, and why? Enjoy the show. Is we back in this thing?
Is we here?
We recording?
Is we here? Is we recording?
I believe so. Back.
Hey, man.
To me.
That's what it is. Hey, y'all already know what I'm gonna say, man. Let's get it then. Gentlemen, we are back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Come on in, man. Relax. Unsupervised, the Spinoff podcast. Here we go, man. Kick it off. What is this episode? What's this, episode 6? Yeah.
On episode 6, Bill.
Episode 6, man. Unsupervised, the Spinoff podcast, powered by the Defy Life Podcast Network. It's your boy, man. It's 2 for Tuesday, except it's not Tuesday. It's Mr. Real himself. The Real is back. I'm back with my brothers, man. Hey, man. We gotta bring him in, man. Hollywood Paul, man. I heard you loud and clear, man. You don't necessarily like HP. You Hollywood Paul, man. But you know, if HP slip out, don't kill me. Anyway, how was your week, man? What's going on with you?
Hey, man, you know how it is, man. You know, it's another grind week. You know what I'm saying? Multiple streams of income, chasing that dollar, chasing the dream, staying healthy, loving my fam. You know how it is, man. Just busy. Staying busy.
Hey, no doubt, man. That's the way to do it, man. Stay busy. Multi-millionaire mentality is what they call it. When you have multiple streams of income, you're an entrepreneur, you're out here doing your thing, man. But hey, so hats off, man. I definitely know the feeling, man. Shout out to my cousin Mike, man. That's his little thing. Multi-millionaire mentality, Mike. But yeah, that's what they call it out there when you're grinding. My other dude, man, West Coast J. What they do?
Oh, you already know me. I'm over here cooling out like a fan in the breeze, man. Shut up, motherfucker. Ken had a fascinating week.
Oh, hey, well, while we talking about a fascinating week, man, get into it, man. How was your week, man? Let's do the weekly roundups, man. How's your last 7 days been, my brother?
I have gone from not caring about a pandemic to a pandemic trying to ruin my life.
Facts. Hey,
right up.
Trust me, brother, we gonna get all into that, boy. I done threw topics out so we can talk about this thing. Oh, shit. In fact, speaking of talking about this thing, hey, let them know where they can find us.
Oh, yeah, we can be found easily at defylifepods.com, but we're also found on Spreaker, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, pretty much anywhere else your podcast needs are met.
No doubt. Check us out. Go to defylife.com, defylifepods.com. The brand, baby. Defy it. You already know. HP, man, how was your week?
Man, you know, I'm with West Coast. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of salty right now because this virus is just taking out all my loves, man. You know, basketball's gone. You know what I'm saying? The baddies is gone from work because they sick.
Right.
But nah, man. You know, hey, like I said, man. You know that millionaire mentality, bro. That's what my week is. Staying busy, booking gigs. You know, working out, keep staying ready so I ain't got to get ready.
Staying sexy, okay. Bringing the sexy back. Well, actually, your sexy probably never left. I seen your pictures, boy. God, y'all. This God diesel ass nigga. You like. I'm doing the Martin when he was mimicking Mike Lowry and Bad Boys 2. God, diesel ass looking.
Motherfucker be walking around looking like an action figure.
Yeah, look, God, diesel looking nigga. He got muscles on top of muscles, y'all. He really inspires me to get into the gym. So I go to the gym for about 12 minutes and I come back home. So,
shit,
no doubt,
that's true. I was in the gym was fucking with him.
That's a true story. I go for about 12 minutes.
I had West Coast Jay on it, bro. Like, this dude was looking good, getting strong. You know what I'm saying? He was in there with me for like 2.5 weeks solid, right? Yeah. All to go to the Dominican Republic for a week and let it go.
Oh, kid, you let it go?
Just like that.
He left it all on the beach.
Did you come up in the DR?
It was a couple of other circumstances involved.
I done heard stories about
just like that.
I done heard stories about the DR. Did you come up in the DR?
DR is a trip. It was cool. This was before all of the nonsense of people getting tainted alcohol and all the et ceteras.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful place filled with beautiful people. I'll tell you that for sure.
Oh, I no doubt. I might go down there and scoop me one up and bring her back.
It's a good place to do it.
Hey, man, I'm glad to be back with y'all, man. This is, we always talk about it, but this is actually therapeutic for me, man. I like to get on here and chop it out with my fellas, man. So, hey guys, we're 6 episodes in, man. Like, when we gonna have a guest?
Yeah, we need
soon, I would guess.
Yeah, I got a couple of guests, man. We can get on here. I've been trying to hold out on the guests, man, so that way we can do it once we launch our visual podcast on our one show a month. But hey, man, if it's hot, we got somebody that's ready. I think we should get him on here, man. Especially JR. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get his opinion on some things. Yeah, guy's a genius, man. We need a genius on the show.
We got to get some Defy Life Network co-hosts and other hosts from other shows in here, man. We already have several requests. And we already have several requests on main topics and also, y'all, the show is growing. It's getting bigger. Check us out on our Facebook page, Unsupervised Spinoff Podcast on the Facebook page. Go like, follow, subscribe. If you hear us on speaker, definitely give us a rate, give us a favorite, click that heart button and all of that. Do's. I know you don't like to click hearts, but fuck it, click the heart anyway. It's just a representation that you like what you heard. Right. Hey, so we're gonna get into it, y'all. With no further ado, man, I gotta jump right into it because I'm watching. All right, so I didn't even say how my week was. So, but I'm a fucking. My week was the same way as everybody. I worked all week. Ended up working out, having to work late a day. And you know how that is. So it's been one grind after another, and everybody's trying to figure out. We're trying to plan this conference, and we're trying to figure out if we still gonna have it. And people are freaking out because it's in San Antonio. We have to travel, and so that's kind of coming up on the agenda. So, man, just trying to get that stuff figured out because.
Wait, are you even still allowed to travel? We couldn't go to Earth no more.
And if you're in the United States, you can still travel to the United States. But let's talk about that for him. The coronavirus. Boy, West Coast, you and I had a discussion last week about the coronavirus. I had wanted to talk about it about 2 weeks ago, but you shot me all the way down. So we didn't talk about it. But as it got kind of bigger and bigger and bigger, I don't want to talk about it in the case of oh my God, it's gonna kill 50 million people. I just want to talk about it because it's fucking interesting. It's interesting to talk about. And the ramifications and some of the shit that I'm seeing. So I will go ahead and say this. I went into work this morning in my morning meeting, and I was like, that's when they had already kind of announced that the NBA was canceling the season, and then they came out and was like, Major League Baseball was pushing opening day back, and they're now thinking about if they're even gonna have a season. The NHL canceled their season. Every sporting event is pretty much canceled.
They canceled March Madness, motherfucker.
They canceled March Madness. They
Gone.
canceled the Final Four. So there's a lot of things I want to talk about just in the ramifications of that in itself. Because just think, if you didn't get your tickets from the NCAA, like if you were one of those people, you think about people that got scalped or people that bought their tickets on like StubHub from specific individual owners. And like to all of these sporting events and things of that nature, like if you're an Orioles season ticket holder, like are they gonna give you your $6,000-$7,000 back, or are they gonna put it towards like next year? It's a lot of stuff to talk about, so I want to get into it, man. So I don't want to. I know it's a whole lot of information. The state of Ohio, for instance, has gone ahead and like all of their colleges are closed. So like now you have to take your classes online because the campuses are closed. The governors of certain states are now saying some states like North Carolina, for instance, our governor has recommended that we not congregate in a place of more than 100 people. But like states like I think Kansas and somebody else has actually made it like they've actually gone ahead and put that into the little what's it called, like a public order or whatever. Like they can't anything over like 100 people, and you actually can't do it. It's against the ordinance. So schools are closing, which means people are going to have to stay home from work. So the reason why I wanted to talk about it is because the ramifications are so like it doesn't have to touch you, if that makes sense. So no NBA, man, no NBA playoffs, no March Madness, man. West Coast, give me your thoughts,
man. In the last 7 days since I went on the I can't give a fuck rant, this pandemic has done two things for me personally. One, destroyed any vacation I was finna go on. That shit's a wrap. I went from not going to Vegas in like 2 weeks to, all right, we'll forget it then. I'm going to just go to Disneyland. Then I found out earlier today, Disneyland is closing for the fourth total time since it's been open. All amidst fear of a virus. So the second thing that it did, other than completely discombobulate and fuck up all things travel, is it really destroyed my faith in humanity to do the right thing.
Now, what does that mean?
So, I'm gonna get into it. Don't worry. My whole hype is
I was
like
gonna say
this.
you gotta expand on that.
Initially, somebody found out they got this virus, and found out that it's 14 days. It's a highly contagious, easily spreadable. Stay here. Don't go out and see a bunch of people. And every story I've read since then has been because one motherfucker decided, you know what? I just want to go home. And as a result of them not respecting other humans, now this is a pandemic. All because you decided you needed to go home. Somebody told you were sick. I read a story yesterday that there was a dude who knowingly has the virus, like took the test, has the virus. That motherfucker hopped on a plane from New York to Florida. Anyway. Like, where's your respect for your fellow man? Just fuck what they was doing? Like, they can all get over it.
Well, I don't think that's fair, West Coast. Because, and I'll explain why. So remember, you touched on this last week. The Americans that brought this thing home were originally apparently in China. And so now think about if it's you. Like if you are in a foreign country, you're not a citizen, you don't get benefits and things of that nature, all that type of stuff. Your family's here, and then you get hit with some virus, you get sick. Like the first thing you're gonna want to do is go home. Or maybe you don't know you're sick and everybody around you is freaking out and you like, man, I gotta take my fucking ass home, but you already a carrier. I don't think it's fair to say that wasn't a good move because I like just putting myself in that situation. Oh, I would want to bring I'm 6,000 miles away or however the fuck I would want to come home too. Wouldn't you?
So I hear where you're coming from there. But all those people were quarantined at the same place. You feel me? All those people got stuck. Once they got back, they found they had the virus. They were stuck in the same facility. Now, people who were visiting this facility, those are the people that started the cases across the country. Like, once you get past the initial 10 or 12 people who had the shit in Washington, everybody else brought it to somewhere else knowing they had it.
I don't know if you can say they knew they had it.
So
I mean, how can you be so sure they knew they had it?
I mean, it's the time period. So it was in Washington for a long time.
Well, about almost a month.
They had been there for a while, and then 8-9 days later, they went somewhere else with it. Now,
but unless you
from
get
my
tested,
research, I found out that this thing has a 14-day gestation period, which is why you're supposed to be quarantined for 14 days.
Right.
So if you leave on the 9th day just because you decided you needed to go home,
but HP chime in here because so to my understanding, one of the problems, at least in our country, is we don't really have any tests ready yet. So maybe the problem. So I think a lot of people didn't know that a lot of people that had it early didn't know that they had it. I think most people thought it was strep throat or maybe the flu or because they weren't getting a test for coronavirus because it wasn't really a thing. Like getting a test for coronavirus back in the end of January in the United States wasn't really a thing. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I think these people just thought they were sick. Because right now it's 2 cases in Mecklenburg County. I don't know who those people are. I don't know I have it, but I may go to work tomorrow. I may have it and go to work tomorrow and not know. Like, you feel me?
Yeah.
I mean, I get where you're coming from. I do. And then, like I said, I read a story about a dude who knows he has it. And instead of staying home, changing plans, doing whatever he needs to do to get rid of it, he gets on a plane full of people going to another state.
So he had the test and he was tested positive.
Had the test, tested positive. Went from New York down to Florida. They had to take the plane off. People couldn't get off on the tarmac, or they had to get off on the tarmac rather. People couldn't get off in the terminals where you would normally get off the plane because it was known that a carrier decided that's what he was going to do.
That's crazy. Well, I want to. All right, so HP, so check this out. So I want to just get your thoughts on this. $5 trillion lost in the market already.
Yeah, man.
Just the market. They've canceled every known sport that's going in season right now. They've canceled it. We're talking about ticket sales. We're talking about advertisement. We're talking about TV advertisement space. We're talking about sports betting, daily fantasy betting, Vegas betting. We're talking loss of revenue from gas and oil because people aren't traveling. We're talking
socialism for the elites.
All sorts of lost revenue on top of the $5 trillion on Wall Street. We're talking all sorts of lost revenue just in the economy, period. And that's just here. Well, weigh in on that. Let me know your thoughts.
I mean, I honestly, I have two thoughts on that. First, me being a conspiracy theorist, I guess you could say, or a fan of conspiracy theories and stories and things. This, to me, at this point, it's either two things. It's either one of the biggest heists the powers that be who want the one world government, one new world order type thing. It's going to be the biggest heist pulled on us since 9/11. Or this is something straight out of a movie that, like Outbreak, like it starts to spread and it could possibly turn into something that ends up changing the world as we know it.
How so?
I mean, viruses, they can change. They could grow stronger. They can get more dangerous. I mean, anything can happen. We've all known that, and meaning that a lot of people could start to contract this shit and start dropping dead. We don't know. Yeah, there's so much that's been said about this. They said it's been around since the 70s. They said it's been around since 18 something. I mean, there's been so many different. Of course, we all know there's fake news out there. We all know there's the social media journalists and doctors and professionals and all that. So there's so many different things that's been put out about this virus. Okay. Now, of course, everyone can say, "Oh, well, the CDC said this," or I read this, and this is fact. Well, come on, man. What do you really know? So it could be something that changes the face of the world. Seriously, it could. Or it could be, and it can change it in an aspect of people being more mindful, of their germs are spreading, of how they're living their lives, the things that they participated in, and just taking more responsibility. Like Jay was talking, like why would you get on a plane and go give this to a bunch of different people? And I understand your take on it as well. So I see both sides. So it could just be something that changes it for a good thing. And I'm not saying it changes it in a bad way. Or, like I go back to my first thought, this is some constructed ass shit to come up and take control. Fear is a powerful tool.
Fear is a powerful tool. So I read some interesting. So I think that it's already changed. At least I won't say I don't know about the world because I don't, but I will say I've never. So we've all been on the earth for some decades.
Yes, sir.
I've seen them cancel like a game. I've seen them like move a game around. I've seen them
seen a lockout.
Yeah, I've seen like I've never just seen them. I put this on Facebook. I've never seen them just cancel sports like.
Not all.
Like they just I've never seen them cancel sports education. Like I think it's gonna go to our employers next. That's just the next rational thing. Like places of employment.
That's the only way it can go.
And then that's gonna mean we're gonna be at like I think that more than people getting sick, at least right now, we're facing a real economic situation if people can't go to work and they can't, they don't have. We're just gonna ask people to sit at home with no fucking pastime, there's a lot. I saw somebody say, "Man, there's fucking nothing on TV." Like sports lets people. Y'all know what sports is therapy to people, man. Like
circus, baby.
People escape.
Man. And now I'm like the 2020 football season, I'm thinking like, is this like, and so now the NCAA, the colleges are wondering, are you going to give my kids a year eligibility back? How does that work for our number of scholarships? Are you going to ask these kids to go ahead and go on with your life now that you like, there are a billion questions. And so this is also store. You've been in a store lately? There's no Lysol. People are now price gouging Perel and hand sanitizer and this, like, so I get fear. And West Coast, to your point last week, no, the part of this, that the health factor part of this, I think I'm hoping and praying that like we don't get to a worst case scenario with this, but the more in our face economic side of this could affect the same people. And so this kind of goes back to what Hollywood Paul is saying. Like, look at the two major social status people that this is going to affect are the very elderly, the very poor, and people that have health conditions already.
Yeah, man. I was talking to a lady today who has to she had to take her mom to the hospital. Her mom's 73. She's got a small cancerous mass, and she's got to take her to the hospital to meet with an anesthesiologist. And she said, and I am lightweight freaking out. She fits the entire profile of someone who would actually get sick and die from it. So she's terrified. Then there's the concept of the part that's been killing me more than anything else. I think a lot of what this panic that was induced is it has a lot to do with the way the 24-hour news cycle works.
Right. I agree. I definitely think the media has very much. I mean, they've covered the shit out of this.
Absolutely.
They have covered the shit out of this.
You can't go to anywhere without hearing about it in the top 3 stories. So, with that, plus the social media doctors, as Paul just brought up earlier, the people who get on social media and tell everybody all of their problems, and how they can fix them. All y'all got to do is just wash your hands. And so we found out already with the Wacky Stat a couple of weeks ago that people already wasn't washing their hands.
Nope.
Still ain't.
Still ain't.
I was just at the gym and cussed this dude out for pissing and not washing his hands. I ain't cussing out like a dog, but I was like, bro, what the fuck? And he was like, oh, my bad. Like I'm his daddy.
My bad.
That's what he said. Hand to God, bro. That's what he said. I was like, well, I'm done. That's why I was like, well, I got my pump in. Let me get out of here. He
got that touching all the weights.
Bro, I was in there straight up wiping down everything before I usually do that, but I did it extra good, after today. Because, like, some people went home today. A girl got sent home. They told her to go get checked for it because she was having the symptoms. Like, they're plotting to send us home for 14 days, give us laptops, make us work from. Some people got to work from home. Like, yeah, people still ain't washing their hands.
Absolutely. So let's talk about that real fast, because we don't. One of the issues is, and I was asking these questions at work too. We don't really know what the symptoms are. Like, it feels like the flu. Like, you kind of feel like you have a fever, maybe like some trouble breathing, and it kind of feels like the flu. But other than that, like, we don't really know what the symptoms are. And I was like, can you get it from, like, okay, so if I have it and I work at I wash my hands all the time, but let's say like I have it and I work at like Wendy's, and you go to lunch and get Wendy's, and I make your fries. Do you have it? Like,
that's the direct contact, according to the dude that went on Rogan, who works for the CDC. The doctor that's worked closely with the virus has examined it. Like, it's airborne, yes, meaning that you got to be directly in the vicinity of someone who sneezes on you, coughs on you. Of course, touching your face, you sneezing and coughing, those germs are all over your face. So touching your face and touching something else, that's the way to transmit it directly. You can catch it just like catching a cold, man, just like catching a flu.
It's
so
like catching every other virus ever.
That's it.
Like it is a direct contact thing.
Right. And a lot of cats are saying that, and of course that same doctor, a lot of other people are saying that it's a upper respiratory thing, kind of feels like, what would be the beginnings of bronchitis or straight like West Coast said, like any other cold, you start feeling the congestion. Like, bro, I got sick and they test me for, what was it, COVID-19 to make sure that I ain't had that joint, So, I mean, yeah, I was worried too. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh, maybe I got this, and I started doing research on it, and then it was just so many conflicting stories. So, but bottom line, like, you start feeling sick, go to the doctor, is what they're saying. Go home and then immediately go to the doctor, put a mask on, so you stop spreading it.
Yeah, right. Now, that was the part that I'm having the issue with more than anything else, is because people won't, or at least they've shown thus far that they won't stay quarantined after they find out. Like, that's where I'm starting to lose faith in humankind. Like, no respect for everybody else because you got stir crazy or whatever the reason is. People that have it, know they have it, are just getting up and going out around people. There was a lawyer in New York who was responsible himself for 50 cases just because he found out he had the virus and still went to work working all his cases that day.
But thinking about it on some real shit, like, if you're losing faith in humanity because of this, think about all the motherfuckers who knew they had HIV, knew they had AIDS, and didn't want to stop fucking.
Yeah, They give it to people as a get back now. He did me wrong.
Get back,
there's genuinely people that do that though. Like, there are genuinely people that go out of their way if they feel like they're sick, they want everybody else to be sick. Like, it's a misery loves company situation.
Amen. Yeah, absolutely.
That's insane. That's crazy. Just once again, man, and I can't talk about this without the Trump administration. I'm very critical of the Trump administration. You guys have heard me on shows before. Like, the president, he lies a lot more. I think it's 25,000 lies. Well, whatever.
I didn't know people could die from the flu.
The problem with having this president in office is all he does is lie. So when he says something about, I don't believe him. Like, I'm actually waiting for somebody credible to get on the news. And West Coast, to your point, one of the problems with the news is I see a lot of fucking people talking on TV, like news anchors, but who I don't see any doctors on TV.
Exactly.
Saying
the same as the people that's on Facebook, knowing all of I know your symptoms. I know what you got. Do you though?
Right.
Were you a doctor?
Right.
Did you study this shit?
Right.
Exactly.
Or do you get paid to read a teleprompter?
Exactly. So I do have a worry that we're not going to get the truth out of this administration, and
I also have a worry that we're not going to get the truth out of this media either.
Well, then I don't think the media. The media doesn't know. I don't think the media
keep making shit up.
I don't. That's what they do.
Because that's what they do. Ratings. That's what they get. That gets paid for ratings. And until someone with some actual facts comes in, or that with no speculation, they're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is about ratings. So from the blue tie side, says that the president and this administration didn't handle it correctly. But from the red tie side says that everybody in the liberal media is fear-mongering. And the worst part is they're both right.
Well, I mean, how much... I don't know.
we could all speculate, you know.
Yeah, I like to know shit about shit. Like I don't want to like I I think I don't think it's fear mongering. Okay, I'll say this. I was taught a long time ago because I invest heavily in the stock market that the market has a good reflection of financial centers, and when you follow financial centers, when you following the mood of the strength of financial systems, then you follow the money. So I won't say they're so quote unquote fear mongering if the financial systems are reacting to this like it's a real thing. Fear mongering is one thing, but for Wall Street to lose $5 trillion and counting, to have the third worst day in like U.S. like gains and markets history, the third worst day in history. That is, I mean that I think that happened twice, like Monday and Tuesday. Like it's like it's tough to say. So when I'm critical of the president and like he's the person in power, his administration, this is their issue. I'm not saying it's their fault, and I'm not even going to say that they're not handling it correctly, but I will say they got to tell the truth about this. And they got to release the adequate amount of funding for research and funding for tests. And because right now, that's not available to states. So states are kind of having to come up with their own little plan until that shit gets released from the federal government. Like the president, I think the president is telling us one thing, but that's not what's happening on the ground. I have no proof of that, but like I also know that there aren't adequate amounts of tests out there, and there's only 200,000 beds in U.S. hospitals, and so there are people that are going to need those beds when they actually get sick with this thing, and then there are people that are going to need those beds for other things. So we will see where this thing goes. Very, very fascinated. But you've got to live somewhere in the middle, I think. You can't be, oh wow, gloom and doom, but you can't also just be like, I'm going to ignore this until 1 million people die. Like, I think you got to live somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, I think the American, the people in the administration, I think one thing that needs to happen and should, in my opinion, is all resources be focused on homeland, on the front. Like we got to take care of us first before we do anything else with the rest of the world. Unfortunately, that's what it is. There's a lot of things that we do for other people that I don't agree with. Anybody can argue it with me. Well, I don't agree with it to the extent that it's done. For example, the money we send to Israel every year. I get it. I get why, but I don't think to that extent we need to. I mean, there's money we spend here frivolously annually, quarterly, that is wasteful. Look at the money. Look at the money that's been spent by the damn president just playing golf. That could have been somewhere moving and growing for a rainy day for right now when we need those resources for emergency funds to pay people that are forced to stay home. Emergency funds to pay for vaccinations and research and distribution and workers to handle that and equipment to keep them safe. All of that stuff, I think should be an eye opener to redirect our priorities as a whole in our nation. But, well,
the Trump administration cut that budget so slim that they're having a hard time doing their jobs right now. In the case of it, like, so the CDC, all that stuff is run by a certain branch of the government, like Health and Human Services, all that. The Trump administration cut that budget by like 38%. And so, like, crisis response, infectious disease response, I'm not sure that they have enough. So that's why these things have to be passed to release emergency funds to those agencies, because their standing budget was already cut. It was already I won't even call that a cut. It was fucking surgically removed.
So yeah, kind of. Like they did cut a bunch of things. The worst part about it, is even to fund research and find a vaccine, it still has to be tested. It still has to go through all of the proper channels. So the earliest, it'd be about a year and a half, 2 years, and that's still optimistic, before something could be released widespread to the public.
Yeah, we're very,
to find
very
an actual, a legitimate, this is to fight that vaccine.
Absolutely. So $5 trillion lost in the market. The Trump administration today says that they have a plan to insert $234 billion into the market or into the economy or whatever. They're trying to balance out some of these losses. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if that's going to work, but it may very well be a temporary prevention of the, I won't. Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
But little things like you said, the amount of money that's being lost overall. I'm still angry that Disneyland is closing. Disneyland is closed 4 total times since it's been open. This is the 4th. The most recent before this was right after 9/11.
Yeah. So shout out to everyone that's saying this is like the flu, because maybe health wise it's like the flu, but boy, the flu didn't do this. I tell you one thing, the flu didn't do this. So just be safe. Do what you can. Wash your hands. Like Hollywood Paul said, man, if you feel sick, go home. Don't go to work if you feel sick. Like don't do that to people. If you feel like you might have the flu, stay at home. Go to the doctor, and you won't be in there alone. You'll be fine.
So, I mean, I know we're wrapping this, but I just want to throw this out, because I'm sitting here having a little drink, you know what I'm saying? Me, I'm doing my thing. But I understand they lost money today. I understand they might have lost money the day before. But what the fuck have they been doing all these other days?
Well, they've actually been losing money for like 2.5 weeks solid.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But what they've been doing before that is what I'm saying. Like, my point is, are these companies broke?
Oh God, no. And these aren't necessarily.
So my thing is, what is the big scare? Why the fuck can't you help people out? You just don't want to. You don't want to dip into yours. Is what I'm hearing.
Well, the market doesn't reflect company revenue. The market really reflects mood of worldwide movement. And so the thing that most people need to understand when we start talking about the economy is like, it's not. When you start talking about Wall Street, it's not just our economy. It's talking about the economy of like the whole world. Right. And so when you can't get goods from China and because you're not importing things, and that puts X amount of people out of work, and that puts it's all kind of like trickles down into one another, and so it's all about the mood. So when the market gets scared, they panic, and but it reflects the mood of the financial the financial confidence in the financial systems of the individual economies of all these countries that make up the S&P. So it's always been and it's very reactive, which is why you're taught, or it's why when we start looking into the markets, it's why they teach us to look at the money. Like, so I can look at the market a lot of times and tell what mood, just the general mood of an issue based on how the market is moving. So when I saw the market moving on this, I was like, this is going to be a big deal, because the bottom doesn't fall out of the market for just any reason. That means the people that have all the money are worried about, like, they know something on the ground. Like, they know that like 1 million people just they know that like this company's about to spend $1 billion on this one little part for this phone, and like, so they know because this is what they do. So when it comes to health, is still a big part of everything that goes into that. So they're out there studying like the trends and the mood and the financial strength. So, but it doesn't actually measure like individual company revenue. So companies themselves aren't really losing money in the sense of they're losing their bottom line. They are losing money in the sense of like, well, unless you're the cruise and airline industry, they're losing a lot. They're losing a shit ton of money because people aren't spending it.
Travel is losing money.
Travel tourism is losing big money right now. They're definitely not. They're already not going to reach their yearly earnings projections. Right. If that helps answer your question.
But my point is, then yes, it does. That means that they definitely have money to take care of these people if they got to sit home from work. Is all I'm saying. They can stay afloat. They're not going to have to close their doors because of it.
Right. Like even the Disney Corporation, they've closed Tokyo, they've closed, Paris is still open, but they've closed both of the ones that are in the States here, and they're closing them effective Friday through the end of the month, and they're still paying their cast members. So there's still money there. They're just not bringing any money in while they're doing it.
Right. So it's just gonna project. It's just gonna hit their projections for the. I actually bought some American Airlines stock this week because it's in the shitter.
I was talking to somebody about that yesterday.
It's in the shitter, and I know it's gonna come back. So
the bounce back gonna be serious, and that's another thing that I'm thinking. You know, the conspiracy side of me is like, is this part of the con? You know what I'm saying? Is this what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, cause this panic, things drop, things plummet, people get in when it's at its lowest, and right at the bottom, and when that bounce back come, people who are millionaires are now billionaires. People who had a couple of 100,000 saved, they got a couple of million now. You see what I'm saying? Like the trickle up. Is that what this is? Is this to come up or what? You know? So we'll see.
Well, yeah, we don't know. We'll see. But I definitely, every time there's a recession scare or a recession, I buy. Like I never sell. I always hold my positions, and then I buy because I feel like, hey, American Airlines is 60% off. I always look at it like a sale at the mall, you know. So if you got a couple dollars to throw in there, or you already have dollars in there and you want to make a move, it could be something to look at. So okay, we're dropping all kinds of nuggets out here. Speaking of nuggets, man, hey, we got to get this topic wrapped up, gentlemen, so we can move on. I know I'm sure this is going to give us another eventful week of things to talk about. But speaking of nuggets, man, West Coast, man, why don't you play a commercial, pay some bills, let them know about some gear or something?
We'll do that. All right, y'all hang on.
If you're into all things comics, you have to check out Take a Knee for Marvel vs. DC, your go-to podcast for comic and superhero discussion, debates, polls, and more. Tune in as Regular Scott and Ozzy Killmonger chat about your favorite comic topics, and you never know who may show up for an open mic, or what will be next on their favorite One Gotta Go. Take a Knee for Marvel vs. DC, every Sunday, powered by the Defy Light Podcast Network.
All right, y'all, that was a commercial for our guys over at Take a Knee, the young Regular Scott, the young Uncle Oz. Even though Scott questions, Scott know what he did.
Regular, degular. That's my dude. Hey, ain't no regular, degular bashing on this show.
Trivia Master was killing us.
He was killing y'all. Yeah, y'all should have talked about that in y'all weekly roundup, man.
I don't know if the episode is out yet. That's the only reason why I didn't bring it up.
Well, after I hear it. Oh, it came up on our Defy Light Partners call. But after I hear it, I'm definitely gonna, because my episode's out already, and so
yours is out. So
yeah,
like
I heard
what happened to you.
Yeah, so I ain't.
And eventually you're gonna hear what happened to us.
Whoa, wait! I don't.
Arbitrary shots is just being fired at Regular Scott right now.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like
this motherfucker was asking questions like, what was the first set on the first show that was filmed in 1975 that was then refilmed in 1990. And you know, Queen Latifah had a one-liner in another show, but they canceled that script to greenlight this show. It was at NBC, but then David Letterman said something, and then Jay Leno picked it up, and then CBS picked it up. What was
the house number on the mailbox?
What was the house number on the mailbox? It's like, wait, what? And then JR in the background, 5, 4, 3.
Crucial, man. They were so crucial.
Wait,
crucial.
Regular.
And someone's like 227. Like, what is it? Are we getting conspired on? How the fuck someone know that shit?
So I guess needless to say, Simba put on a show.
Yeah, man. He ran the board, man. He ran the board.
I can't wait to hear it, man. I know it was. I know the show was filled with laughs because I know ours was. Speaking of,
Jay made it a point to he was like, man, what's going on with these unsupervised niggas? These motherfuckers talk cash shit.
We gotta keep it live, man.
That's why we unsupervised, baby.
Exactly.
Welcome back from our commercial break. Regular, taking a knee from Marvel vs. DC. Uncle Oz, we can't wait to have you on, man. The comic connoisseur. Check us out on the Defy Live Network. And while we're talking about it, go check out the Trivia Battleground episode 1, season 3, and episode 2 should be dropping pretty soon. So go check them out, man. You're gonna get to hear all the contributors and the hosts from the Defy Life family battle it out in a trivia battleground. So it's really fun. Y'all go check it out. Obviously, ain't one of us win.
Man, we ain't bring the championship. We ain't bring the ship back. We asked for Roy Williams this shit.
No doubt. Although in West Coast's defense, West Coast is a previous champ, but that don't mean shit for this year. So
no, we got a banner. It's a banner in the unsupervised. You feel me? It's a trophy over there and shit in the offices. But other than that, not this year.
But we gonna treat that the way y'all treat Roy Williams. That was some old shit. Speaking of which,
no. Don't do that. Roy Williams, Roy Williams won in 2017. I was just on a call earlier today. When he won in 2017, I remember very distinctly my first thought was, fuck. Now we ain't going to be able to get rid of him.
Oh, come on, man. Don't do Roy like that. But hey, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it for a second. The Tar Heels just finished with our worst season in 12, 13, 14, 15 years? Maybe
is it Roy's worst season ever?
This is definitely Roy's worst season ever. But it's our worst season since we brought Roy in. Like, so whatever. I think what did come in 06? This might be our worst season since like 03 or 04 or some shit. 05. I can't remember exactly when we brought him in, so we lost that. So before that, all this whole sports world got canceled. We did have a game. It was against Syracuse.
Well, Syracuse had a game.
A team that we had previously beaten not too long ago.
For whatever reason, that 2-3 zone was unsolvable.
And you know what? This is why I always pick Syracuse to at least go to the Sweet 16, because if you are not in the conference and you do not play against that zone, when you meet it, oh my goodness. First of all, everybody on their team is always 6'9". Like
and like 1-6-2 guard.
Yeah,
every
like
time.
one like
1-6-2 guard. They shoot threes.
They be in that 2-3 zone, and oh my goodness. Now Virginia has a kind of, but it's not that Syracuse zone. That Syracuse zone.
Coach Boeheim, Coach Jim Boeheim in Syracuse is so good at that 2-3 zone that when Coach K was tapped to coach the U.S. national team, he found out that internationally you can play a zone. He immediately went to go get Coach Boeheim, and teach us how to do the zone.
Right. And I don't even think you can teach it in the summer. That's a part of his program. And yeah, hats off. But yeah, we lost by what, 30?
Yep.
Yeah, we got so a couple questions. I'm not gonna start with the question y'all gonna jump on. The first question I want to know is, as a sports fan or as a Tar Heels fan or both, should Cole Anthony return for a sophomore season?
Absolutely. Cole Anthony was my biggest problem watching that game. He's good in spurts, but everything that I saw showed him out of control.
Oh, wow.
Like, that was the part that, even in the first game. The first game, it looked like they were doing well, but that was because Brennan went off with all the threes. But Cole Anthony plays a little. He needs another year of college, as far as I'm concerned. Now, could he make the jump? Would somebody draft him? Probably. But he plays a little too out of control for me.
Do you think he'll go top 10 if he goes?
I think somebody will take a flyer on him just because he's a guard from North Carolina. I don't think that he should.
Nope.
But again, that's as of right now. Like, I feel like he could also get better. He could learn to play under a little bit more. Like I said, he moves frantically to me. Like, he doesn't ever look like he's going somewhere to do something.
Well, you gotta
looks
understand,
like he's just going.
Well, against that zone, did anybody?
That's what I'm saying. You gotta understand, and you gotta look at his castmates too. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, that's the most true picture guy coming out. His teammates. You know what I'm saying? I mean, have you ever gone to the gym, play some pickup ball, and you know you're the best dude on your team? And when and everybody's standing around watching you or waiting on you to make something happen, so sometimes you do got to move frantically because hell, you're running for your life to keep the ball in your hands or to try to score, or you're exhausting on yourself. So I get what West Coast is saying about that. He's kind of herky jerky because he's not able to settle in to just run the offense because he is the offense.
Right. I think ideally we would have liked to play him off guard more, but.
Yeah, but Leaky Black is also a defender.
Yeah.
He's not necessarily an offensive weapon. So that's really the issue there. Is that the guard play there it left a little to be desired. Is all there is to it.
And we played 2.5 weeks of our season with Leaky Black as the best player on the court because everybody else was hurt, but y'all want to fire Roy. Anyway, I'm gonna get to that in a second.
I do want to fire. I want Roy to walk away.
I'll get to that in just a second. I want to get back on Cole. So we led into this by saying how stifling this Syracuse D was, and then you jumped all over Cole Anthony for the games against Syracuse. You think that's fair?
I said that he didn't look good in the first game.
That's what I said for the 2 games against Syracuse.
No. I'm talking about the first game of the tournament.
Oh, against VTech. Oh, he looked okay.
So he like I said, when I was watching him, that's how I felt. I felt like he did not play. He didn't move with the poise I like to see a point guard move. Mm-hmm. Like it sort of looked like he was making last second decisions as opposed to thinking 2 steps ahead. If that makes any sense.
Have you watched him other than those 2 games?
Yeah. And this is how I felt about him all year. The whole time I was watching, it was like, I mean, is he good? Yes, he's good in spurts. When he's hitting, then he's a streaky shooter. That's fine. I'm good with that. I'm a streaky shooter, so I understand that. But with regard to under control, that was the part that got me. Is that when you see a point guard that's playing under control, you can see it in the way that they move, the way that they hold the ball, the way that they dribble the ball.
Right.
He just looks like he was still either overcompensating
for his bad
trying
teammates,
to think that he was the best player on the floor and trying to do too much as a result.
And he also was. I don't disagree. I just disagree.
Yeah, fair enough.
Hollywood, what you think? What you think? Should he come back should he go to the NBA like a lot of people think he's going to do, or kind of what presumably we all thought he was going to do when we recruited him, or do you think he should come back for a sophomore year?
I think he should come back. Mainly because I think because when he gets to the NBA, he's going to be a point guard. So I think that he should come back, learn some more, and build some more confidence as a point guard, gain more poise and control. And because I think if he goes to the NBA right now, he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna do what we expect him to coming out of Carolina. Honestly, I honestly think that he may be like another Eric Maynard. You know, like he might have a good 1 or 2 seasons, then he'll fall to a backup and he may disappear. Honestly.
So he's not at least as good or better than Kobe White?
No.
I felt the same way about Kobe White.
Because I thought Kobe. I was just about to say.
Again.
About to say, West Coast, your characterization of what you're saying about Cole Anthony is what I felt about Kobe White. At times, he was very streaky and very erratic. Nonetheless, he's averaging 28 points a game over the last he was now till the season's over when the Bulls give him minutes.
Right.
So sometimes just like Kyrie Irving, sometimes the college game is too small for you, and your game actually fits the NBA style of play with this better spacing more positively. So I don't know. Now
that's fair.
As a Tar Heel fan, I want him to come back because I think we had a really shitty season.
I think that's more or less where I'm at.
Well, say that then.
But I mean,
I just want him to come back and I want him to come back and show me that I believe that he's actually the NBA talent that he could be.
I just don't want him to. Yeah, I don't want us to put out a dud. Is what I'm saying. And I thought Kobe. I thought Kobe was going to be good in the NBA because he has a big, strong body, and you could tell that he can be coached, and that goes a long way. And he's talented too. You can't take that away from the kid. Athletically, he's smart. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not just a dumb job.
Super quick.
Not saying Cole Anthony is any of that, but my thing is, I could see any team developing him to be what he is right now, and of course in training and coaching. Which don't get me wrong, Cole Anthony can have that same thing, but I just think that based off what just happened, as just mentally as a basketball player and in your skill level, like. Just give yourself that time. Just give yourself that so that one more year, and you can even pull a Zion. You can pull a Kyrie and play, 10, 15 games, go to the tournament, have a decent tournament, and go. You don't gotta throw it all out there and risk getting hurt. And then because see there's that aspect as well. He can go ahead to the money. So
because remember he spent half the season hurt already.
So
he's already been hurt.
And that's another thing. Like that kind of hurt his stock a little bit too. I mean, I want him to go to a team where he can actually get off and not hurt himself trying to be the man in the NBA.
Oh no, he'll be a lottery pick because I think he's going to be a top 7 pick. I actually think he can leave right now, go to the NBA, and be just fine. I actually think his offensive game. I don't even think we touched the surface of what he can do on offense. Now, I definitely think he needs to work on his D some, like a lot, but I'm not gonna pick apart his game. He's number 1 overall recruit. So
right. He is good though. The boy can ball.
He can ball. And he's got the NBA pedigree.
He can flat out play.
Yeah, he can flat out play. He's got the NBA pedigree. He's got NBA quickness.
Yeah, he does.
And I really did think that characterization was exactly the same things I said about Kobe White. I just think Kobe White was on a much better team. And so sometimes when you're on a worse team, like Hollywood said, you gotta take shots that you wouldn't normally take. People pass you the ball back after you pass it to them. Like
right.
I seen him like he had to pass the ball back to a dude. Like, no, you open.
Like not even that. Like run the offense. Like where I don't even have the spacing for you to. That could have been an easy turnover. Like I know what you're talking about. Definitely. Like
like he passed the ball to dude. Yeah. Dude passed it back. He was like, no, nigga, you take the shot. He passed it back to him.
Right.
So
I'll give you that too. There was a lot of passed up opportunities. A lot of shots that should have been taken.
So I think some of that's like just his teammates just look for him to score, just look for him to like. So I think, and once you played all season with these, like like AI said, why your shooting percentage was so low? He's like, shit, I passed the ball. They passed it to me with 3 seconds left on the clock. What I'm supposed to do with it? I'm supposed to shoot it. Like, so some of that is happened to Cole Anthony. He passed the ball and like, dude, shit, I get this shit back to you.
Right.
Yeah, with 7 seconds on the clock now, make something happen. Like,
right.
Now do some shit.
Yeah. So, Cole Anthony, man, whatever you decide, my brother, I'm for it. If you come, I would love to have you back for another year. But if you decide to take your talents to the league, man, hey, I wish you all the success in the world at the league.
Absolutely.
I'm all about these young folks going to get their bread, man. So
definitely.
And we are
not knocking
and
him
we
for
already
the
seen him
bread.
get hurt. No doubt. And we already seen him get hurt. So it's not like, that's the main thing that you know that made Zion like, oh yeah, I definitely know I'm coming out. Like he
exactly
risked that little injury, and then like in the first game he got hurt anyway. So
came out and got $95 million.
Yeah.
Oh.
So now I'll ask: do y'all want Roy fired? Do y'all want Roy gone?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I think that Carolina needs to reinvent itself, so to speak. I think they need to shake it up. I think that Roy being gone, the tradition of how they ran the program, certain things that they do, certain intricacies that they have are going to remain. But just the recruiting aspect, bringing in somebody young and hungry to that and actually go get in on the media's face and say, look, Carolina's taking that back the crown of NC. They need someone ballsy. They need someone who's willing to say the things that needs to be said to these recruits. So they need somebody who's willing to call a fucking timeout during a run. They need somebody that's more engaged, more passionate, and I think that Roy is just I think he's what's the phrase that he used for my man Billy Walsh. I think he's peaked. I think Roy's peaked a while ago, and he's riding that out. I think he's peaked.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that statement. I feel like the game's passing him by. Like the one and done era, I feel like all of the other quote major coaches, the ones from the major programs, have all adapted, and Roy just hasn't.
Right. He doesn't have the time to develop talent like he used to, and he's not getting the top name recruits right now. I don't know why, but he's just not. They haven't really secured those big names like I feel like they should have. Just being Carolina, I mean, I don't know. I don't get it, and I think that a lot of it has to do with who's piloting the ship.
Jay asked a question on the flagship show the other day. Do you believe that how did he
buy or
phrase this?
sell?
He said,
Yeah, it was a buy or sell.
I'm trying to think about how he phrased it. It was, do you believe that Carolina is still coasting on like their last best player? Because the last best player to come out was what, Vince Carter?
Fuck no! Don't insult Carolina. I really wish I was on that show. But however, yeah, it was more so, who puts out better talent, or are we still resting on our laurels of, MJ and those guys of putting out better talent than Duke. And I can actually buy that. I can buy that. Duke has more recently put out more top tier talent.
More recent, right?
But
definitely
more recently. But Duke recruits one and dones, and we typically don't. That's a and like HP just said, in the era of one and done, Duke recruits those guys, and we typically don't. We typically recruit.
That's what I'm saying. The game has passed him by.
You speak.
Everybody else has adjusted to the one and done situation, unless
you can't. you can't say the game has passed you by when, what is it? It might be 4 guys or 5 guys every year that's one and done. That's not the regular game isn't one and done. That's the elite. That's the top tier of the top tier of the top tier.
But
Is that
Carolina
not
is
what
an
Carolina
elite
basketball
school.
is supposed to be?
But we purposely do not recruit those guys. That's what I'm saying. So like for Kobe, we didn't know Kobe White was going to be a one and done. Like
No,
he was a top tier point. He was a top tier point guard, but he wasn't like the number 2 guy in the class, and so that's why all the speculation is around Cole Anthony, because he's like a top 5 guy in his class.
Okay, but let me ask you this though. Like seriously, okay, you're a money guy. Your name is Money. Bottom line, that's what this is all about. So with that in mind,
that's not the Carolina way. No,
it's not
about money.
Okay, it's not the Carolina way.
It's about graduating our student athletes and and winning national championships.
It is, but it's the Carolina way. But that's not the NCAA way.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so my thing is, why aren't we going after the one and dones? Why aren't we going to the trend? Because first and foremost, you can't tell me kids are going to these camps and their parents are paying all this money to get them trained. My friend right now, Jamal Harvey, his son Jamar has been playing since he was about 3 years old. This kid is getting D1 offers around the country right now, okay? I mean, we've been talking about this kid going to the league since he first scored his first 40-point game. You know what I mean? And I mean, he legitimately will have a shot. He's big, he has a big body, he's fast, he's a point guard, like 6'5". You know what I'm saying? I mean, and he's amazing. So my point is, they're not investing in all their time and efforts. I remember at one point in time he said, "Yeah, my son said he might not want to play ball, he want to do music. I don't know how to have this conversation with him." That's how invested he is in this boy's future in that game. So they're not looking at him getting a damn degree. They're not looking at him playing for – they're looking at schools to where he can go and get the most shine he can on that roster in the tournament to go in and have a shot at either going overseas, getting a $500,000 contract, or going to the league, bro, and getting that league minimum. That's bottom line. Even the G League is in that conversation. That's you know, he knows his son is going to be a professional ball player. Period, point blank. His wife is all in. The other siblings are all in. So my point is to apply that to other parents out there, because he ain't the only one in them camps. He ain't the only one in them one-on-one sessions, okay? So to apply that to these other parents out there, they're not bringing these kids in these programs, these AA, they ain't traveling around the globe in these AAU games just to get them a fucking degree. They're trying to get that money, man.
But most of them not going to see that money. Let's just keep it real. Less than 3% of every college basketball player goes pro.
Well,
that ain't.
So when you talking NBA, or are we talking just on the pro level? Because there's multiple facets to the pro level these days.
Okay,
so many.
You're right.
There's so many. I mean, you can literally make what I make right now playing. You know, you can make 50, 60 grand a year playing basketball professionally.
Yeah, you can. So yeah, but I mean like the league. Like it's not. You know, and the league has done a much better job of getting you other avenues to the league other than just going to college. So I understand that, but what I'm saying is like on par, it's just not a lot of kids. It's not a lot of college athletes that get to go pro.
There's not, but the ones that you know can. Why aren't you going after those guys hard as hell? Because you're trying to win a title. If you can, okay. So let me ask you this, Money. If you know you recruit the hardest, baddest, biggest bodies who can play and run, they got the biggest motors, they can do everything, and you can win a title for the next 4 or 5 years, okay, back to back to back, 4 or 5 years in a row. You could do that right now, or you could try to build talent and keep the same traditional regimen, hoping to win a title in the next decade. Which one would you go after? Seriously.
Well, it depends. Like, once again, I'm a Tar Heel, so that's the way we do it. Like, so that's the only way I know. Like, there's no guarantee if you get the number 1 and 2 guy, you're gonna win it all. Duke didn't.
They didn't, and I think that part of that fell onto injury. I think part of that fell onto playing reserved. I think part of that fell onto Coach K making certain decisions that he admitted to that and mistakes that happened. And I think that with the one and done, we saw a crucial element as well. There's a human factor of lack of chemistry. Mm-hmm. There's a human factor, and then to add it, coupled with that, now in that last year, and I'm only speaking on Duke not winning it last year. You had literally what is the equivalent of a LeBron James playing with you. Yeah. So it is. If you watch the games, those boys literally got caught. Cam Reddish, for one, Tyus's little brother, 2, got caught watching Zion as they're on the floor with him. They got caught up in the hype too. So I'm not making excuses. But there's a lot of factors into that last year that I think that if the media and the fans and all the attributes that played into that wasn't so exploited like it was, I truly believe that Coach K could have brought those boys together and they could have went after it and really got it.
Right, but that's not what happened. Did they with the same program? Did they win the year before?
The year before, remind me. Quinn Cook. That's the year Quinn Cook came out then, or was that 3 years ago when Quinn Cook won?
Well, I thought 3 years ago we won.
Well, no, we lost to Villanova 3 years ago, didn't we?
Yeah, no, we won 17, lost to Villanova.
Yeah, we won 17.
That's right. We did. And
we went back-to-back years. We lost to Villanova, and then we won. And then we won the next year or something crazy like that. I can't remember. Like the team came back and won it all. And I think that was 16, 17, I want to say. But did Duke win in 18? I don't think Duke won in 18.
Let me put my little. I'm on it.
So what I'm telling you is our method does work. It's not a hope thing. It's like the thing that you said about building like that shit means something.
It does.
Like you can't just put the most talent on the floor and think you're going to win a national championship. That talent also has to be a cohesive unit and win game. Like I like our team. I like the Cam Johnson and Cam Johnson and oh god, now I can't remember the guys on the team. Those Johnson. Guys, yeah, those guys weren't one and dones, but they were the best team in the fucking country.
So it was Nova after.
Yeah, they did.
Nova won in 18.
They did.
Yeah, so
it's been what? It's been us, Nova, and then Virginia.
Yeah. So and Virginia Virginia nor Villanova recruit one and dones. They build their programs. So you can make an argument that the one and dones get it done, but they fucking don't. It brings you a lot of notoriety to get the top guy that you know is going to the league and all the cameras and everybody's there it brings you the president might come to the game. That it brings you that.
Yeah, it does bring you the spotlight. So Coach Calipari
it don't necessarily bring you a national title.
Coach Calipari is probably the best example of that. Calipari does it better. He wins about a title a decade, but he'll give you 5 of the top 10 picks.
Absolutely. And so yeah, we got to move. But yeah, very interesting discussion. Hollywood, man, I hear you, but
I'm all about the money, baby.
Yeah, I don't think the history says that ain't necessarily the case. The case.
But I guess I'm speaking from a biased standpoint. You know what I'm saying? I as you said, only 3% go. So a lot of those boys devote their lives to that game and end up working at a car lot. So hopefully, you know what I'm saying. I'm just looking at them getting the money, not getting hurt. I understand building the team. I played on teams. I understand that chemistry is strong. My high school right now is going to compete for the state championship. Shout out to Westover High School, Fayetteville, North Carolina. You know they compete for the state championship this Saturday, and all those boys been playing together since they were I want to say sophomores. I want to say. And so yeah, they definitely building that chemistry is important. It's integral. You know what I mean? To definitely being able to waver the adversity of a game, the runs, up and down. I mean, just last weekend they started the game off. They were down 15 in the first quarter, and fans were weary. You know what I mean? But that chemistry kicks in, that experience. We've been here before, and just life outside of the court. So I get that. But on the standpoint of money, I just want them boys to go after it and get that money. I want them to have the opportunity. I don't want them to get bogged down, and think that degree is going to be the end all be all. And I don't want those days to be something it was just cool to do at one point in time. So that's just my take on it.
Hey, no doubt. I respect that. We're getting more into that next time. Now it's time for our weekly segment, man. Our wacky stat of the week. West Coast Jay, how many people are in the country of the United States of America per at least our last census? And by the way, everybody
24 million.
Do your census and all that. So we can know how many people are here. How many did you say?
About 324 million.
324 million. Well, our wacky stat of the week this week is about estimated 40 million Americans, adults. That's because that stat that he just gave is every man, woman, and child. About 40 million American adults do not read above a third grade reading level.
So we're looking at 1 out of every 8 people in this country.
I know I say it a lot on this show, but it's some dumb people in this fucking country. 40 million adults do not read at a third grade reading level.
I believe it.
Yeah, like that doesn't surprise me in any way.
I literally work in customer service, and people ask me every day, what does that word mean? And they're currently holding a smartphone in their hands as they're talking to me.
There are people with multiple college degrees that ask.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, it's not like
kind of questions.
Words. It's not these compound words. They're like simple words,
right?
Like mandate, or substantiate.
Oh wow, there's a SAT word. They don't. Those 40 million people don't know what that means.
There's
probably more than 40 million that don't know what that means.
Oh right, but they definitely don't know what it means. Rutgers University. In conjunction with the Adult Literacy Education and the International Journal of Literacy have done this research. So shout out to them. And I don't know what we're gonna do. I feel like I talk to a lot of, well, not in my profession, but I feel like in my daily life and my out in the world, I feel like I talk to at least 5 of those people every day like that. I'm like, you can't read. I don't think you can read. I don't think the president can read. I think he's one of those 40 million people. He has his briefs read to him. First of all, if he gets a brief, he doesn't read it. Second of all, if the briefs that he does read, the briefs that he does read, I think they're read to him if reports are correct. So
let me just dig into that for a second, just real quick. So are we saying that they can't sound the words out and just read fluidly? Or are we saying the comprehension of what they actually read is not, taken in and processed?
I don't know. Maybe some of both.
I think I'm understanding this to mean comprehension, the reading comprehension level of a third grader.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you give a third grader a reading test or a book to read at most
they can't tell you what it's about. Basically, they can get through it, but they can't recall what they actually read and probably. Right. I got you. I'm with you. That makes sense.
I won't even say understand, but more I'm sorry, more not recall, but more understand, because recalling is a portion of memory.
True.
Just being able to understand what you just read, or even actually being able to read the words on the paper. Whew, I think it's rough out there for them. Oof.
Yeah, it sounds like it's more of a comprehensive thing. It's something they're not comprehending what they're actually reading. They can probably read it, might even be able to read it out loud, but understanding it.
coincidentally, there's 33 million people in America at least that voted for President Bush a second time, and there's going to be at least 40 million Americans that vote for Donald Trump a second time. So there might be some correlation there. I was just saying, I don't know. No, I kid.
Fired.
I kid the Trump supporters. But yeah, when you go and you say stuff like, I don't like Obamacare, but get rid of the Affordable Care Act. But keep the Affordable Care Act. That's you're not reading.
That's a comprehension issue. That's not necessarily a reading issue.
Well, reading is part of. That's why they call it reading and comprehension, because it's part of the same.
Exactly.
It's part of the same family.
If you don't understand what you're reading, you ain't comprehending it. And so, yeah, it makes perfect sense to me that 1 out of every 8 people in this country can't do that above a 3rd grade level.
What's crazy is when I worked at Blue Cross and Blue Shield, they do stats and numbers, and all that stuff, breakdowns. 50% of our calls daily came in from people getting letters in the mail. And it's just North Carolina, okay? They would get letters in the mail and we'll call and say, hey, I got this letter in the mail. Is this a bill? And, you can pull up the document that you send them and you look at the document and say, sir, at the top of that letter, it reads, this is not a bill. And it would take people like a couple of seconds to process that. So I can see what you guys are, what this stat is really reflecting. I understand it. I think it's definitely true, and it's sad.
Absolutely. We're gonna do something with them, man. 40 million people, man. We should open a community college or something. I don't know. Moving on, man. Our petty party politics for the week. So we had another Super Tuesday this week. That actually happened. I think seven more states voted, I want to say. I think Michigan, Idaho, maybe some. I can't remember all the names of the states. I had them up, but we were supposed to record a couple nights ago, so I don't have them anymore. But let's see who voted on Super Tuesday number 2. Anyway, whoever voted, I guess the thing that I just wanted to, because the actual topic is, I think Bernie Sanders got beat resoundingly again this week, and he has committed to staying in the race. And my question to my fine co-host is, given the state of where we are right now and the results of our last 2 Super Tuesdays, is Bernie Sanders done? Bernie Sanders can't win the black vote. He's not winning old Obama voters. He's just winning like these super progressive minded folks. So, team, can he make a comeback without the old Obama coalition and African Americans? I said that like it was on a white show.
Unfortunately, it looks like the coattails that we was talking about last Super Tuesday. Those coattails for Obama that Joe Biden is riding on are about to eliminate Bernie Sanders. Yeah.
Them shits are long. I'll say the same thing I said last week. Boy, people remember.
Dude, Obama won an award for, I believe it was a television ad academy or something like that. They gave him this award for basically promising the American people something without actually tangibly giving them what it was he promised them. It was hope. He won an award for selling hope. Those coattails are long, brother. Long and embedded and programmed into the American people's minds. Obama himself can come out and say, look, I'm a fraud and this is what I did. You will still have 50% of the people that loved him still love him. And the other 50% will be like, hey, wait a minute, Obama, is that real?
I'll be like, you lying.
Come on,
that's
man.
a deep fake.
You lying.
You ain't never tell my father a damn thing bad about Obama. Okay, my 75-year-old dad who said he would never see a black man president in his lifetime saw that and was all in. You can't tell him nothing about it. So them coattails is long, and you best believe he gonna vote for Joe Biden. He's already told me.
Absolutely, no
my
question.
mama vote for Joe Biden.
Them black folk, our parents, boy, they ain't leaving Joe Biden.
Nope.
Period. They don't care. They don't care what Joe Biden get on TV and say. Joe Biden can get on TV and be like, "Shit, I forgot my name." Like they do not give a fuck. They are, and so it's those people, and it's the people that just think Biden can beat Trump better than Barry Sanders better than Bernie Sanders can. So Bernie Sanders has a problem. He now has a problem because he was the front runner for a while, but he now has a problem that the Democratic Party in general doesn't think he can beat Donald Trump. And boy, the ghost of Barack Obama has came home and set his nest squarely on Joe Biden. And Joe Biden doesn't, like I said, I mean, he cut somebody out on TV like yesterday.
Yeah,
like,
he did.
So somebody, you full of shit. Like,
yep.
I mean,
M15 or AR-15.
It was over guns.
Yeah.
In Michigan, that was funny.
And that shit was funny. And but I will say this: in the world of Donald Trump, I am desensitized to the shit that politicians used to get in trouble for saying. Like him saying, Joe Biden saying you full of shit is like that's like third rate news to me right now. I'm like, what shit? The dude was probably full of shit. Whatever. Like,
I mean, at least he wasn't grabbing him by the pussy. Okay, I mean,
oh my god,
how would we react to full of shit to grab them by the pussy?
Right.
So, yeah.
Like full of shit is actually pretty run of the mill now.
Yeah, that's run of the mill. That's why I said I'm good. I'm good with full of shit. Because I say that, hey, you full of shit. Hey, if I was running for office, which I probably will, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I might say that's a fucking. I'm not gonna say that's a fucking lie because you might not win if you say that. But I might say you're full of shit.
I would not put it past any candidate running going forward to just hit somebody with that's some bullshit.
Yeah, if I ever run for office, I'm gonna drop the fuck.
The fuck. I probably would too.
I would.
We probably wouldn't win though, but I would after we do that. But I I can't. I like to be so real that that's how when I see some shit I'd be like the fuck is that? So
exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Y'all we don't have to dig much into that. I think Bernie's done.
Yeah,
I voted for Bernie. I really like Bernie Sanders. I voted for Bernie Sanders. However,
yeah, man, I like a lot of Bernie's ideas. I'm
gonna take my black ass on election day and vote for Joe Biden like I'm supposed to, and get 45 the fuck on out of there. So that's all we should be concentrating on. What was you gonna say?
No, as I said, like Bernie's got great ideas. However, them coattails is a little too much, and now what the Democrats need to do is what the Republicans have taught them all these years. Everybody just back who wins.
Consolidate and move on. That's right. And that'll happen. That'll happen.
I want to bring this up to you, Money. I saw something on social media, of course, and I was like, yeah, it made me think about you. But the Democratic Party were the biggest group that claimed that there was no minorities in office, there was no women, there's no voices for them, and they basically all tucked their tails and ran behind the old rich white men who were winning the race instead of backing the same voices and minorities that were actually running for office. What are your thoughts on that?
I was actually on Chap Dog show on Sunday and touched on this. I'm a Democrat, especially on the social standpoint, but I'm actually more of a middle of the road type of thinker. So I don't really buy into the notion of I'm not whiny over these people ran
right.
This was the most diverse group of politicians that ran for office I think we've ever seen. There was 5 or 6 women. There was Hispanic people. There was even Asian descendant people. There was black people. It was white people. It was all but they lost. They took their shot and they lost. and they lost in a fair way. It's like they all had, like, Kamala Harris had campaign money, she had donors, and she had a campaign, and she just lost. Cory Booker had support. He had, like, Amy Klobuchar. She, like, everyone had their opportunity to win the hearts of the people, to get their message out there. All of them had plenty of media coverage. They just lost, and I don't feel bad for the people that lost in the election. Like, so the country is speaking. They want Joe Biden. Even states that Bernie Sanders friends thought he was going to win, they said, no, fuck no, we want Joe Biden. We'll take Biden. You know why? Yeah, we know why, because we talking about it. They know him. He's sincere. He might get on stage and say the wrong shit, but he's sincere. That connects with people. And he's Barack Obama's vice president. These words are not meant to be taken lightly. Barack Obama is literally the most popular Democratic president of our lifetime. Period.
People think Barack Obama is going to be puppeteering Joe Biden. They think Barack is going to be making phone calls every day. He's going to come drop through on Wednesdays, and he's going to help make decisions. That's what people believe that, and they think it's going to be his show all over again.
Well, 40 million Americans can't read, so they might believe that. But, I mean, I'm sure he'll make a phone call every now and then and give some info. But I'm telling you, Barack Obama was at the Duke game with, like, an entourage and this chicken all black that was super duper bad. And I was like, man, God, man, if I could just spend like a week with that dude, man, like, people, he's also mad hella cool. Like, his family's amazing. His wife's like beautiful, and hats off. Michelle Obama's the most popular first lady, and almost like, I think her positivity is like at 82%. Like, their polling numbers are unreal. They're unreal. And so, I mean, if he ran for president again right now, he would demolish. It would be a landslide. So, hats off shout out to you, Barack Obama, and your whole family. But yeah, I don't want to characterize it as just like the rich white dude won, like kind of how I said before. I just think everybody had their shot, and the person that people like the most won.
Joe Biden.
Okay.
I just think I just think it boils down to that.
Straight up.
But a lot of
everything Money said is right. Like, there was the diversity that was involved in it. Everybody had a shot, but it was the way the campaigns were run. There was a lot of the ideas were so wild that they either were going to catch on or they were not. I'm talking to you, Andrew Yang. And so when they didn't, then it was just like, all right, well, I've listened to everybody now, and I think that the right has gotten in people's ears enough that Bernie did not seem like a favorable choice to be able to put up a fight.
Coincidentally, though, the $234 billion that we're about to put into the stock market was enough to pay for Andrew Wang's plan. So everybody was like, "Where are we gonna get the money to do that?" Yeah, they got the money to do that. They just choose to do other shit.
Coronavirus. That's where we get the money.
Yeah. So, you guys ready for our topic of the week?
Topic of the week.
So. Yeah, we gotta get a little
music or something.
Yeah, we gotta get a little topic like
I'm working on it.
Like a little topic of the week, little situation. First of all, we have a backlog of topics of the week. So if we didn't talk about the topic that whatever, you're gonna mess with us. You're gonna fuck with it. So, I always think this is an interesting question for dudes. And women as well, because I ask this to women all the time. Just because I want to know. So for us three, what physical? So HP, I know you got a lady or whatever, but you got a bad old lady.
She know we grown on here, man.
Yeah,
Come
she
on,
know
man.
we grown on here. So, like, what physical attributes? I'm not talking about personality and none of that shit. I don't care about none of that. I want to. If you beautiful, you beautiful on the outside. Oh, that's where it counts. I'm not talking about none of that inside crap. What three things or a few things like physical attributes attract you to a woman the most, and why? And West Coast Shay, I'm gonna start with you.
If we're starting with me, like, just plain looking, I'm always probably looking at the ass first. That's usually where my gaze is. It begins there. Is that an applause? Y'all are ridiculous.
I think that was an applause.
I applaud that, sir.
Like, that's where my gaze starts. Like, it just naturally, that's where it's always going to just linger down. Like, let's see what that looks like when it walks away. That's nice to watch walk away. Just that's where it is. That's just the first. That's the first. Second, then I'm probably going to this titties and ass for me, man. Second, that's probably I'm going to the bust line. This guy, they're killing me with the sound effects right now.
That's HP, by the way.
You said titties and ass, man. You said titties and ass.
Man, it is what it is. Like the physical attributes, when you say those two, that's the superficialness of it all, but it's also fact of the matter. The fact of the matter is we gonna all stop and watch a fat ass walk by. We'll stop a conversation. We'll all be in conversation real deep. We could be arguing about Roy Williams in public, let a booty walk by. We will get silent for a second.
Absolutely.
And then knowingly acknowledge it. Maybe not audibly. No, it'll be a knowing glance. Like, you did see that, right? All right. Anyway, back to what we was talking about.
Give a little head nod.
Right. You did see that, right? And then you always got your one extra bold homie that's like, damn.
Now, when you see that, what do you act on it? Do you move on it? Do you go holler? You go, hey, what's good with that ass? Like,
is the honest answer to that question. Like, it depends on where I am. If I'm at work, no. I got to see that in 2 more hours when I come out.
Right.
So if I'm in a place that I'm not normally found, or if I'm not normally at a place, and it's, why not? At that point, I subscribe to the D'Antoni method of it. Like, if I haven't moved in 7 seconds, I'm probably not going to move.
Right. So what's your
if you say there's a third attribute for me, the third attribute is probably going to be the smile.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And this is, again, without ever speaking to a person, no personality involved, none of that. But those, like, first gaze is the booty, second gaze is the broad line, the tital, and then the third one is probably going to be their smile.
So she caked up and caked out, as they say. Shout out to CT. What's your rate of holla? What's your rate of holla probability? If she got booty and ass. I'm sorry, she got tits and ass, and she got that great smile. What's your probability of trying to holler?
Again, it's a situational thing. It depends on where I am.
Okay, so we not at work.
So 7 seconds or less is pretty much how I've always looked at it. If I have not started moving in 7 seconds, then I'm not going to move. So, percentage-wise, I couldn't even give you a number. There's too many interactions in a day.
No doubt.
Like, for me, it's a time-wise thing. Like, it's legitimate time. Am I in a position where I can go make that move? Do I got somewhere else I need to be? Like, it really just depends.
Dude, if she that caked up and caked out, well, she got to be can wait for a few minutes.
I mean, there's caked up and caked out everywhere on Earth.
This is true. This is true.
Like the old adages, they run like buses. Like there's going to be another one.
Oh wow. True that. Hey, and history has proven that to be correct.
So, like I said, it's a situational thing for me. If I ain't moved in 7 seconds, I'm not going to.
You guys heard of those self-soul dudes that like can't get chicks, so they like mad at like society because
I think those are called incels, involuntary celibates.
Yeah. When I say self-cells, I knew it was something about being like you guys have heard of those. That shit funny to me. Anyway, Hollywood Paul, man, what physical attributes attract you to a woman?
I mean, honestly, I have a thing about legs, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I always start with the legs. I start like a movie. It's like you pan up. You know, I go calves to the thigh, and then I make my way to the ass. I want to see it all come together. You know what I mean? And the legs, it's gotta be a mean walk. You got a old slew-footed, pigeon-toed, crazy-ass walk. You better have a donk on that back, or else I don't even care. You know what I mean? Now this is me this is me remembering when I had my single days. Now even now, like I said, I look at the menu, but I don't ever order. Right. But like for instance, you know what I'm saying? Like me and my lady was looking at this chick the other day. My girl was like, "Man, this girl ass is so fat. Look at that." And I was like, "She ain't got no calf muscles. You could tell she ain't did an active thing a day in her life." And she was like, "What does that have to do with anything?" I was like, "She's probably a lazy lay. I wouldn't have fun with that. I would just pound the shit out of her and then be done." She was like, "Oh, you want somebody to throw it back?" Hell yes. Well, fuck, I work out. Let's work out, okay? Sex is supposed to be fun. You're supposed to bust a sweat. You know what I mean? You're supposed to get it in. So I start with the legs, and you know what I'm saying. Then the second thing I
hold
hit.
on before you move to the second thing. Real quick, shout out to your lady, and shout out to all ladies that like, cause my ex was like, I fuck with a lady that can like check out a chick with you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
We would be in the mall. We would be in the mall and be like, "Damn, she bad." I'm like, "You think she bad too?" Like, hell yeah! Dap each other up and all that shit. Like, shout out to you ladies that keep it like 100 like that with your dude. And
exactly,
that's old school, real recognized real.
Yeah, that's real recognized real. Although I'm not so partial, like I don't do that shit for her. Like I'll be like, "Yeah, that nigga fine." Like like I don't like I don't know. Well, maybe I should be 50-50 with that, but like I don't think I've done that. Like I haven't checked out my lady, checking out.
I can't say I check dudes out, but I definitely look, man, them shoes fly though.
Yeah,
I mean, like I ain't gonna lie.
I will compliment the dude.
Right.
You know, if he put together nice, like I complimented you HP earlier. Like I'll compliment a dude, you know, but I don't know about like my lady. Like in the exact inverse of that. You and your lady can check out a lady together, and like she will be like, "Oh shit, she bad," and you will be like, "Yeah, I know." Like, but I don't think I've ever been in a situation where, you know, my lady was like, "Oh shit, oh he bad," or he whatever the fuck they say about niggas, and me being like, "Yeah, right." Like,
I think with my lady, man, I think I'm so comfortable with who I am as a man that, you know. But I can do that, but I do it in a funny kind of silly way. Like for instance, you know, she got a thing for this motherfucker dude from House of Pain. What's his name? Oh, Chocolate Brother. Can't think of his name right now. Tip of my tongue. But Lance Gross. Okay, this motherfucker Lance Gross, bro. I'm telling you, if I see him, I'm stealing off on sight. Okay, but nah, for real. She, you know, we'll be at the mall or whatever. She'd be like, and I'm like, what's up, babe? She's like, nothing. I'm like, tell me what's up. She's like, that nigga fine as hell over there. Look at him. Now look. I'm like, yeah, I mean, he got his shit together. But make me whoop his ass. You know what I'm saying? Make me whoop his ass, okay? That's all I'm saying. Like, I let her know, like, yeah, you got it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. And I'll be like, or she'd be like, yo, that motherfucker there. And I'll be like, oh, is that the hall pass? Like, I'll joke about it with her. And then she'd be like, I mean, I don't know what you think. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna have to have a long talk before you go off with him. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll let her know you
Hilarious.
got it. You know what I'm saying? You got it. But I don't really go in like she do when we looking at a fat ass. I feel where you coming from. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I don't really go into, oh yeah, man, he's a beautiful man. Like the fuck
Yeah.
do I look like?
That's the most you would get out of us. That's the most you would get out of us. Oh, he put it
Most.
together. Like he got on, he got on a nice shirt and shit. Like
Right.
yeah, I like J's and then, you know what I'm saying, tight ass shirts and polos and, you know, money hanging out your pocket and, you know,
yeah,
a chiseled jaw. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I get it.
You
Chest
like,
now. If you into
like
that.
if you in the perfect niggas, I mean,
Right.
you know, whatever. Like,
Right.
Like, dude, he put together. He all right. He's cool. He's shit cool.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, ladies, that's the most you would get out of us. Is this? But shout out to the couples, ladies and gentlemen that can do that and just have a little fun with it. Man, this crazy part is I was actually just saying this shit at work the other day to like somebody like, yo, I actually y'all all scared. Like I actually fuck with it when my lady be like, damn, look at her, like damn shit, oh shit, like that shit is it keeps you. Oh, because this lady was married and she was like, I'd be having to stop fucking traffic. My husband would be looking at people. I'd be like, yo, you should look at him with him. Like, so that's kind of how that whole conversation came. She was like, look at it. I was like, yeah, like, I think it's like it takes having a sneak out of it. You know, like, you got to sneak a look and like put your sunglasses on and look like you don't got to do all that when your lady's like understands that, like, oh shit, and they going to look, you got eyes, like, and shit, I'm going to look too. So we going to compliment the same chick. So
Right.
I just think that before you move on with your
form
number
is spectacular. Everybody should enjoy it. It's been spectacular for many years. Statues have been built. Paintings have been painted. Pictures have been taken. Been like that for years.
Right.
So, listeners, if you have any thoughts on that, man, let us know, man. But you know, just that. So before HP moved on with number 2, I just wanted to touch on that real fast.
No doubt.
You continue, my brother.
So yeah, man, you know, and next thing I land on is the ass to hip ratio. And because it's got to match, man. It's got to match in a certain way. Like if you just all cheek, that's cool. But how your hips looking? You know what I'm saying? Are they big childbearing or is they skinny? Is it a fake ass? Is it a fat transfer? Because these days I got to look for that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I believe in a woman's right to choose, but I still like it all natural, baby. You know what I'm saying? So I do land on the ass second. I'm not gonna lie. Like, boy, do I love big old fat, juicy, domed up, motherfucking cottage cheese stretch mark. I don't give a fuck, nigga. Okay? Show me them stretch marks, baby. That's a map to some good pussy. Okay? But anyway,
facts.
I'm just saying.
That was quotable right there.
Next thing, you know what I'm saying, I land on, you know, is the tickle bitties. Because I love them. You know, all sizes, shapes. Now, I love a good 36C, 38C, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. The average. I love that. You know, but I ain't gonna lie. I like to see the natural hang of a breast, you know, like, because they're all gonna hang if they got some weight to them. And, you know, if a woman got some fake implants, they cool too. You know, I'm not an implant kind of guy. Like I said, I like them all natural. You know what I mean? Swing low, sweet chariots. But anyway, you know, I'm just saying, man, I'm a man that appreciates a woman. I know that, you know, nobody's perfect. You know, I'm not all into the athletic builds. I like a woman with some curves. So, you know, I land on that third, obviously, and you know, I just like to enjoy seeing it, man. I mean, call me what you want. That's the truth. Just like a woman like seeing a man with a 6-pack, you know, or they like looking at his print. That's where I land on, like straight up.
Right. And women definitely check out. First of all, women definitely check out prints. Y'all be trying to like front
The first
like
thing
y'all
they look at.
but y'all definitely, especially when we be having on our little dress pants with the little shirt tucked in and or whatever,
Right.
on those professional days, y'all definitely be looking at prints. It's not even. Hey,
Gray sweatpants. I mean, come on, man. You got some gray sweatpants on.
Absolutely.
They gonna say something.
Y'all be print checking. Let us know. Let us know how often you print check. Like, do you have like? Is this guy like this the same way we check out booties? Do y'all be checking out prints? Let us know. So for me, man, let's see. Y'all gonna think I'm lame, but the first thing I love shapes. So I like Hollywood Paul. What you said actually resonated with me a lot about like how the hips meet the ass. Like I love
the hip ratio.
I love shapes. Like if you are a woman and you are like well proportioned, like because you can be tall.
Right.
You can still be well proportioned. You can be
Absolutely
short and still be well proportioned. You can be a little thick and be well. Like if you have a shape on you, well, that shit drives me up the fucking wall, yo. I'd be like, man, look how well fucking put together she is. Like God, man, hey, that shit is so fucking sexy to me. Like I don't know what it is. It's the overall like West Coast said, just the beauty of a woman. Like so, like if the hips are there and you know they coming out that skirt and or that dress and you just well proportioned. That's like the first thing I notice is your overall shape.
right.
Love that shit. So your ass doesn't have to be fat if you don't have like I mean it helps, but if you don't, like, it doesn't have to be for me. Like
Right.
The second thing I noticed is definitely that like I love the booty. I'm a booty connoisseur, like Ozzy is a comic connoisseur. That's probably the second thing I noticed. And we are black men, so little shout out, ladies, black men. We love the posterior, we love the derriere, we love the junk in the trunk, we love the baby got back, we love the booty. We love like I can. Hey, I'm sure my guys can help me. We got a lot of nicknames for what's going on back then.
Yep. Like I'm coming with immense posterior. We do enjoy a badunk.
Hips with an ass, like all
man.
all of that. Like I'm
The
here
junk
all the
that's
way
in the
forward.
trunk. We fans of that.
That fatty.
Oh God, yeah,
That fat. Yes,
You
sir.
know, I'm a huge proponent of yoga pants. Huge proponent. Yoga
man.
pants are the yoga
Leggings.
pants give people who don't got ass.
They do.
Absolutely, they will fucking fool you. They will fool you like Snapchat filters. Like what?
Straight
Like,
up. Yoga
yo.
pants give what I like to refer to as
Fire.
optical illusion booty. You got optical illusion ass.
Yeah, like they will have, so when they put them on, then they do the little poses with the little legs, the certain way. Like the women know how to make their booty appear like objects in mirror or look bigger than they are. Like
Right.
like
So one of these things is not quite like the other, but you're gonna look at it anyway.
oh, I'm gonna check it out. And Charlotte, everybody working out all the time. Like everybody get off work, go to the gym. Everybody leave the gym, and all the ladies come to Publix and Food Lion and everywhere else in they fucking workout pants. And that's I can just go to the store and literally just like walk through the store shopping, and while I'm shopping, be like, oh shit, look at her, 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 oh like. That shit, it's crazy. It's crazy. And so since that's one of my like shapes, it's like, so I'll probably check out like every woman's shape. Like if you want a woman and you walk by me, I'm looking at your shape. Like I just can't help it. Like it's a thing. So yeah, I check it out. And my third favorite thing, man, like I got an all moment like West Coast shade with the smile, but man, I love like eyes. Like I'm so attracted to women with pretty eyes, and like
Yeah, man. They're in my top 5. Don't get it twisted.
that's like that shit might make me fall in love, yo. Like oh shit, oh damn, she got hazel eyes. This shit's glistening in the sun and shit. Like, yeah, man. I think I done fell in love off shit like that before. Like,
So is it the eye color or the shape of the eyes? And
See, for me, it's the shape of the eye.
it's the shape. It's everything about the eye. It's what the eye means to me in terms of it really being the inner perspective of the essence of who you are. Like you can't hide any of that in your eyes. You could be
romantical. Those motherfuckers in here soul
Yeah, man.
gazing and shit.
First of all,
So I just
I'm
need
a-
to
y'all
look
know
deeply
me.
into your
I'm the only
soul
one on this
when you
motherfucking
speak
show
to me.
with a lady in the house right now. Y'all making me seem like a chauvinistic motherfucker. Okay.
No. We absolutely not.
Fuck
You gotta
y'all.
remember, my first two was tits and ass.
And then both y'all ended on a goddamn sentimental shit. So you know what I'm saying? Fuck y'all for that. I ain't backing down. I'm sticking with it.
Whatever. You
Legs,
threw
ass,
the
yes,
shapely
ratio,
legs in
man.
there out there first. That was your choice.
When somebody
You know
asks
what I
me
mean?
one of my favorite,
But with regard to like the almond shaped eyes, like that's for me, it's a shape. I like the shapes.
yeah, it's all of that, man. It's the essence of what the eyes, because you can't hide anything in your eyes. You can tell me the biggest motherfucking lie in the world, but your pain, your spirit, like all of that shit is right behind your eyes. And man, so like,
it's funny you say that. I was actually in a conversation with a chick on Saturday, and she was trying to sell the most beautiful story that ever happened. I really had to stop her and be like, all right, can I be honest with you? Because you appear miserable. You want to tell me the truth this time, or we just going to keep this game up?
yeah, it's right there. It's right there. So boy, I'll look you in your eyes and like, so, but yeah, so it's that. So I see this extra thing in people's eyes, man, especially women. And so yeah, and then it's the color, and then it's the shape, and then it's the deepness. It's like people have certain depths to their eyes. And I'm here for all of that shit. So if you have what I consider pretty eyes, and you like put together nicely, and so Hollywood, I didn't ask you because you got a lady, but if you have the things that attract me, my probability rate to holler is high as fuck. It is like it's definitely because
I'm on the Miss Parker.
Absolutely. So West Coast, like with that timeish, I ain't here for none of that. I got time. I'll be late. Like I'll shit. I got 10 minutes.
I'm about to make time.
You about to get these 10 minutes. So yeah, my probability rate and level to holler is probably somewhere around 87%. And if I see a ring, I might stop. But now I will say this: if I see a ring, I will still give you the compliment that I was going to give you, because who doesn't like to be told that they look amazing today?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
Facts.
And ladies, I need you to understand that we don't just be giving compliments all willy-nilly. So don't just think that if a motherfucker come up and actually tells you, man, you look great today, that's great work. Just that simple. This motherfucker trying to holler at me. No, the fuck I'm not. I'm trying to tell you that you look great today.
Right. Now, if I'm trying to holler, you will know, because I am going to holler. But if I'm just
follow up, there's a follow up to the compliment.
But if I just compliment you, I just wanted you to know that you look nice today. You know, that's all.
Facts.
Like,
I mean, I do that every day.
But I love it when a woman smells good.
You know, it makes me feel good to tell a woman that she's got her shit going on today. You know, for some reason, it's like a fulfilling thing in me. Like, I'm glad I said that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, man. It feels great to
West
compliment.
Coast,
it feels great to receive compliments. It just does.
Right.
Hey, West Coast, I hear you, man. I love like, oh my God, if you smell good, that shit had me like following you around. Like, that shit smell fucking good. Like,
the miserable chick. That was why I kept talking to her. She smelled amazing.
Like, if you smell good, not overbearing, but if you have the right, perfume or the right mix of body oil or whatever you got, whatever you wearing, and that shit smells good, oh my God. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, dude. That is my number one, like, turn off. Like, if there's a bad smell of any kind, I'm done. You know, even my lady knows that. You know what I'm saying? Like, straight up. Like, I have a very keen sense of smell, so that's the first thing I pick up on. Like, I'm talking about from everything, every angle. Like, nah. If it's a hint that I don't like, I'm out.
No doubt. Hey, I know, speaking of being out, I know we could talk about this shit all night, but we literally can't talk about this shit all night. West Coast, man. It's been a great show, man. But I need you to do something for me. I need you to zip them up. I need you to zip them up for me, man.
Man, all right. Well, I'm gonna give a shout out real quick. Random shout out to knees and toes. What up, toes? And then the usual, man. Like, be considerate of your fellow people. If you sick, stay your punk ass at home. Don't nobody else gotta get all your shit. Be excellent to one another. Don't be a jerk. Treat others the way you want to be treated.
That's facts. That's facts. You heard it first. West Coast J. Hey, Hollywood Paul, man. What you want to leave him with? Zip him up for me.
Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Don't put something off to tomorrow that you could do today. You know, that's just the simplest thing. You want to say I love you to your mom, your dad, your friend, yourself. Do say that. You know what I'm saying? Follow through on that. And of course, you know, with what's going on, don't let fear control you. You know, all as fragile as human life is, how dare us let fear run our lives? You know, think about the little things on a daily basis that could just take you out. So, and bottom line, ain't none of us making off this rock alive. So enjoy your life while you're here. But please wash your hands, clean your drawers, change your drawers, and take a damn shower. Okay? And until we get clear to this whole COVID-19 coronavirus, I'm gonna change my normal saying. Don't talk to somebody if you see them in need. Tell their ass to go to the doctor.
In this motherfucker.
No.
Because you might just save a life.
No fucking doubt. Yo, that is what's up. I don't have nothing too crazy, man. Fun show. Good week. Like I said, man, sports is really an outlet. So I'm not really sure. Like, I guess we gotta. This is gonna be some time to internalize, man. Spend some time with your family. Spend some time with loved ones. Don't have idle hands, man. That's when you get yourself in trouble. Get out there, do something. Start a business. Join a club. Like, I learn how to play chess. Watch Netflix. Like, it's 100 things you could be out there doing. Literally, you know, it's a little more than 6 or 7 billion people on the planet, so it's literally enough people on the planet for anybody to be literally doing anything at any given time, man. So, you already know what I'm gonna say. Oh, don't forget, man, this has been episode 6 of Unsupervised, the Spinoff podcast. And join us next week as we talk about Money's quote of I just so happened while I was trying to fuck, I just so happened to start liking you. So join us next week. We're gonna put some context around that. Let y'all know what that's all about, man. That's gonna be on episode 7, man. So y'all already know what I'm gonna say, man. If you're not rocking with Defy Life, what's your life about? We out.
Peace.
Hey, Siri.
Hey, how may I help you?
Play the Relationship Status Podcast.
Playing the Relationship Status Podcast.
You know, I would ask him, like, what are you doing? You know, where are you going with this? What are you trying? And he really didn't have, like, a real answer.
Okay.
So I didn't feel like we were going to be compatible later on down the line.
I think that goes back to something I've often heard and think myself, that men date women thinking they're never going to change, and women date men
Thinking that they are.
thinking that they can change them.
Relationship Status. New episode every Monday at 12 noon on Defy Life Network.